While we're looking for that, Miss Kerr, you don't live there anymore. So there is no continuing rent necessary. If they were asking for rent, then you might have a good defense there for an abatement. They're not asking for rent.
This is all a mess, Your Honor.
Well, let me say this.
We
could resolve this easily.
I'm in an illegal lockout as of September the 28th. At the time of the first eviction they attempted, that's when I filed it myself. You have tons of things in a case file for 2 years. I've verified it in court with documents and verbally. The lawyer that.
But ma'am, do you have a claim for an illegal?
Yeah, I filed the case. I have run away from my apartment.
You have a claim for an illegal lockout?
Yes, based on what was happening for 30 years. It's articulated. For 30 years,
they can't illegally lock you out for 30 years.
That's what.
When was the illegal lockout that you say happened?
Andrew Maurer at Legal Aid, when I presented what I presented to you.
Well, where is he?
He's the one who defined all of what my case is as an illegal.
But he's not representing you, right?
No, but I'm allowed to communicate with Legal Aid.
No, you can't, but I'm just saying,
in the trial.
I don't know, did you file a complaint saying you were illegally locked out without a writ of eviction?
Yes, I brought it to you at the time of the first eviction attempt. I had a narrative and documents verifying exactly what all of this mess is that I'm trying to describe to you right now. You've had it in my case file for 2 years. And I've been waiting for a trial date, and now they want their motion to dismiss. I did not receive mail where at my hotel room where I should not be. I'm in an illegal lockout.
So you're saying that the reason you moved here from this place was because you were illegally locked out?
I didn't move from that place.
You still live there?
The reasons that I was still connected to my apartment. I had to be able to live in there normally. I was bringing.
Is there a writ of eviction?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. You have a companion file right next to it.
I was not notified of that.
You have 2 files up there. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't matter if you don't have.
I was run out of my apartment. My mailbox was sabotaged. My everything concerning me in that apartment was totally sabotaged because of what was happening that I brought to you in my case.
But ma'am, if they had a writ to evict you, which it looks like I see a copy of one.
I never received that at the hotel desk.
But it can't be an illegal lockout without, if they have a writ.
That's the only place I could get my mail.
Okay, ma'am, you knowing about it and getting mail is different than them illegally doing something. If they have
they were notified me that they're not paying.
Now, come on, Miss Kerr, now hold on. You know that if they have a court order, that's not illegal. Illegal means they didn't.
Who had a court order?
If the plaintiff had a court order to evict you, that's not illegal.
No,
illegal means a legal lockout means they didn't go to court. They just changed the locks on you, and you didn't get your things, and that was it.
This is because I didn't have a hot water tank that functioned properly for 30 years. You couldn't shower, do anything like you and everyone in here does. For 30 years.
But ma'am,
I went to all the right people to get it resolved, and it's all narrated and proven in documents what was wrong. It got so horrible you had to run out of there to a hotel to try to get to the judge, to ask the judge to have this all addressed so you could live in your apartment normally for the first day in 30 years with hot water.
Ma'am, what is it that you want from the court? I guess is what I'm trying to understand. Because my understanding is that you wanted an abatement in your rent due to the conditions that you say existed there.
What does abatement mean?
That means a credit towards the amount. Let's just say your rent was $1,500 a month. You could be asking for a credit of maybe $600 or half of it due to conditions where you claim you're not able to use your apartment in certain parts of it. That's what an abatement
I have a case with a narrative with you for 2 years since that first attempt.
What is it, the damages you're looking for what? For
the damages for having to run away to a hotel room, because in the meantime, I'm in a hotel room till I can hopefully get you to view the evidence in a trial and have my apartment restored back to normal to live in normally.
But ma'am, you don't live in the apartment because
no, that's not when this case was filed. They did this, they did the non-payment of rent last October of last year.
I don't know when they did it, but I have an order.
That I was not notified.
It's
I had no
attached.
idea that was happening. We were at the mediation for my case. That's when I heard from after mediation, the mediation counselor.
Looks like it
said
was
that-
sometime in June or something of
Yes,
2023.
their attorney came back to you ordered the mediation. She came back at the end and said that their attorney said, we don't have to do anything she wants in this mediation because we just evicted her for non-payment of rent and gain repossession of the property. I said, what in the world are they talking about? I'm in a hotel room. My mail has to come securely to that hotel room. In my mail, when I go to the post office to get my mail, if it's not in my mailbox, they can't find it at the post office. I've told the girls down at your court window, please make sure it comes to my hotel room.
But you do know, Ms. Kerr, it's the last, known address where it's reasonably calculated to give you notice. So if
They have to notify me where I'm at.
No,
This is
not
2 years.
That's
This has been going on for 2 years.
Ms. Kerr, that's not necessarily true if you still lived in the place at the time.
I did, I just couldn't be in there
But
until
nobody,
you
but
ordered it.
nobody knows that you have a different address. I'm sure you didn't leave.
I went to the court window a million times and told the girls, shouldn't I be making sure you have my hotel
You're
address?
talking about them serving you to an alarm.
Yes, they knew where to have it sent to. They sent, I don't know where they sent it to. I don't know if it ever went to my mailbox.
Well, be that as it may, at this point, you've been evicted pursuant to.
Unlawfully, because I did not receive notice to respond
Okay,
to, Your Honor, that's against the law.
We're not on that case though. We're on this
So
case.
this is while my case is pending with you, they did this.
I know, but that case is not before the court.
Which case?
It's not unlawful. You may say it's unlawful, but if they got an order, it's not unlawful.
I was.
And that case is
If I had been
closed,
served
and
those
it's
papers,
not-
I would have been in this
It's
courtroom
not before
answering
the court.
the,
So that case
motion.
is closed, Ms. Kerr.
no, I was never notified. to
It's still
come
closed,
forward.
whether you think you knew or not, the
So-
case is closed.
And the law
So
permits
you
them
would
to.
have to go and talk to a lawyer if there was anything you could have done or can still do about that.
The court window, the apartment owner, everybody knew I had to get my mail at the hotel room. I had run away. I couldn't live in my apartment. It wasn't sanitary. I had no hot water. It's a nightmare and it's
Well, I don't know where,
narrated for 2 years.
ma'am, all I can say is I can see that there was eviction order entered. Whether you moved out or they set you out, that part I don't know.
It was.
But I can guarantee
non-payment rent.
from what he's saying, you don't live in there anymore.
That I was not notified. of
Okay,
the
ma'am, but this
non-payment rent
case doesn't
motion.
have anything to do with notice.
Oh, you mean he does not lawfully have to send that to me?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're arguing something in a different case number. That's case number LT 23071.
Yes, that's for that apartment. That's the
Okay,
apartment I'm fighting
This
my
is
case
not
with.
that case. This is a case that you brought for some kind of a money abatement or something.
No, I asked for.
And so
I was
therefore,
asking for you to look at the experts that define what's wrong with the hot water tank, what needs to be done to correct that based on excellent reports from experts on that issue.
ma'am, but it's,
So that I can live in a normal apartment and be.
but you don't
reimbursed for
live
the
there.
hotel I had to
And
run
what you're
away
missing
to.
is the issues you raise become moot. That means they don't have any real merit anymore because you're not a tenant anymore.
But Your Honor, I was not notified.
Okay.
I did not receive the motion
That
for
has
the
nothing to do
non-payment
with
rent to
whether or
respond
not
to it.
it happened. And if you want to talk to a lawyer and see if you can somehow reopen a closed landlord-tenant case, you could do that. But
No,
that's not
well,
before
thank
me
you for
today.
saying that because the lawyers that I did talk to said that this will come up again at the trial.
Mhm.
I still have not had a trial to present the evidence. I've been waiting for that since October of 2022.
But from what you're telling me, ma'am, and I'm looking at,
There was none of this that you're talking about right now in October 2022 and 23 until last year when they had a motion sent to an address that I'm not at because I can't be in there until you intervene legally so that I can have a normal apartment to live in without
okay,
water.
but I'm gonna look at your complaint.
I'm not there. My mail, where is my mail? I don't know where my mail is. to
Ma'am,
get
I'm not
there.
the post office.
No, I mean.
So I don't know where your
my
mail is.
There, it has to come to where I'm at. How can I answer
Ms.
the
Kerr,
motion if I
Ms.
don't have?
Kerr, let me stop. I understand this is pretty an emotional thing for you with this case, but I'm gonna look at what you said in your complaint.
If I didn't, but
Your
it's very
summons
important, Your
says,
Honor, that if I didn't receive their
I,
motion.
Denise L. Kerr, need my legal right to hot water
Yes,
so that I can live a normal life in my apartment. I have lived in my apartment 30 years and this problem has escalated too far.
Yes, and I had to
So
run
it
out of there.
sounds like
I would
you're-
not so horrible. I had to run
Sounds
out
like
of
you're
there.
trying to sue them to give you hot water and repair some
No,
things.
just have the radio control unit removed.
Okay.
To
But
take it to my
ma'am,
other
none of
unit
this
of
matters
water.
if you no longer have control of the apartment.
I have been sabotaged, Your Honor. If I'm gonna be told that I was not allowed to receive their non-payment rent motion,
I'm not saying
where I'm supposed to
anything.
receive
Let me
my-
make myself perfectly clear. I'm saying something about this case.
yes.
That's
and
a
when they
separate
did that,
case.
I
That
did not
is,
know.
that case where if you were served or not served, it's not before me.
I saw in the papers.
Okay, but it's
when
not
I-
today. That case is not adjudicatable today because it's closed. There's no motion in it.
I should have been there.
Ma'am, there's no motion or anything on the record for that case. It's only this case. In this case, you have to have some basis for it.
Yes, I was not notified, so I could come to court and.
But that's
answer
not a
them.
good basis.
That's
You
not
have
the
to
basis.
open the other case, ma'am,
No,
if that's
for their
possible.
non-payment. That motion, I was not
Ma'am,
notified. So
I
could go to
can't
court and answer it.
I can't give you anything for hot water when you don't live there.
Yes,
Do you
I
understand
know,
that?
yes, I do,
That's
I
like
understand
saying
For
that
the
I could give you a
non-payment.
court order to go in somebody else's
That's
house.
the address where I was living when
But
they
you
did the
were
non-payment.
living, you're not there anymore, Ms. Kerr.
When they did the non-payment rent motion, that's where I was at.
Okay, and maybe at
Why
that
didn't I get
time,
that? I need the non-payment
I
rent
don't
motion.
know
Where is
what
it? Right now.
happened to your notice. And quite frankly, it's not before me today. It's what I keep trying to tell
Well,
you.
I answered that in, I had to prepare my response to why I disagree. I brought that.
But the
to
landlord agreed to not bring any claim at all,
They're
ever,
not bringing claims.
ever.
They're not bringing any claims against.
So this is what I'm going to do.
I have my answer, you have it in my file.
Ms. Kirk,
This, am I
I'm
gonna be
going
allowed
to
to read
dismiss
this at the
this
podium?
case, granting their summary judgment motion with an order indicating that the landlord is prohibited forever for bringing a claim against you for any rent that might or may not have been due under this tenancy.
Your Honor, am I gonna be able to read this? This is what I'm supposed
No,
to be here for,
ma'am.
to give my answer. If you have it in my file,
Ma'am,
but am I
the
gonna be able
only
to
thing that
answer
you're
in court?
asking me for is to do something that I cannot do anymore. That's
I
like,
mean, I don't get my trial?
no.
That's what I was supposed to get on October the 30th. They asked for it to be dismissed, and you said they had the right to file the motion.
They do, and they have a
And
right
that
to
you're
get the
coming back
motion
today.
granted if it has merit,
Yes, ma'am.
and it does.
And it still does have merit because
Their motion has merit because you don't live in the apartment or house, and the only thing that you asked for was to get hot water.
no, I lived in there.
Thank
I
you,
was
Honor.
connected to that apartment.
Ma'am,
How do
I'm
I-
looking at your complaint. So if there's something that you think the court has done erroneously, you may appeal this. Once he gives
Who
me,
do I appeal it to?
you would
Thank
go
you.
up to the circuit court.
It's not through you?
No,
It's not through anything 46?
no, you go to the Oakland County Circuit Court to
Because
file a
this is
claim of
wrong.
appeal.
I never received my motion.
And I'm going
for
to
not
enter
being
this order, okay?
Well, came here to hear my trial date today. That's
But
what I was
no,
supposed
you
to hear on
didn't,
the
you came
30th.
to hear a motion hearing.
It was a pre-trial conference on October the 30th.
Okay.
Thank you, Your
So
Honor.
That's what it was, Your
can you
Honor.
prepare the order?
I will,
Mr.
Your Honor,
Booth,
and I'll
and send it
submit it.
in, and make sure you put that language
I
in
will.
there about forever being barred from bringing any claim as a result of the tenancy. That way, we know that they're never gonna come after you for any money. So therefore, you don't get any abatement for anything because they're not even asking for it. And because you no longer live there, I can't even give you any relief on the lack of hot water.
Ma'am, Your Honor, way back in October 22, when they attempted the first eviction, it was when I told them I had communicated with Andrew at Legal Aid, who called this an illegal lockout, and that he was going to be involved in me gaining my
Well, I don't know
rights and
who
helping my
Andrew
business
is, but he's
property.
not here and he did not file an appearance to
I was going to
represent
request, I had a pre-trial conference with you, October the 30th. That's what that court date was, when he.
This person has never appeared to represent you, Ms. Kerr.
Pardon?
The guy that you're speaking of, the lawyer.
It was for the trial.
He never.
I had a pretrial conference, I was waiting
You
for
know,
the
Ms.
trial.
Kerr,
date.
I can't go around and
He's
around.
gonna be subpoenaed for the trial with the other experts.
Ms.
that
Kerr,
are
no one
in
has filed an appearance on your behalf. No one. So.
No,
if you
I was going to subpoena him for the trial.
Subpoena who?
The lawyer that I just discussed.
So you can't subpoena the lawyer for the trial.
Yes, he would be happy to verify what he said in that
Ma'am,
trial.
that's
about
attorney-
what all this is.
That's consultation with you. He's not a fact witness to the case. You can't subpoena him.
It was brought to them
Okay,
through
Ms. Kerr,
intake. It was
I'm
within
done,
their
Ms. Kerr.
intake as a case.
Ms. Kerr, you're gonna have to stop now. I've done my
It was
best.
in a case.
I know you're not gonna
Right.
understand it, so I just have to cut you off. And I apologize for having to do that, but I gotta do it. Because I just ruled on
So
the
I'm
matter.
not
And
getting a
guess what,
trial
Ms.
date
Kerr?
today.
There's one more case that wants to talk
Yes,
to me.
but I came
Thank
here
you,
for a
Ellen.
trial
Two
date
more,
today.
technically.
So on October the 30th, I came for a pre-trial conference and there was no trial date.
Look who's in the waiting
A
room.
tentative trial date for February the 22nd.
Ms. Kerr.
And now I have no trial date and you're allowing them to just have
Yes.
my trial dismissed.
I am allowing that. Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
And I was not notified.
Ms. Kerr,
They're not.
you gotta
being-
stop talking. The lawyer's leaving, but you can't talk when there's no party on the other side. Okay, so that's gonna conclude your matter. And I'm going to go off the record.
Judge, I think you may need to just close her out. She was here earlier with her attorney.